G'day! Today I'm going to add on to the role player game that I started in a previous video. If you haven't seen that one yet, just click the link that's going to pop up. This one is going to change rooms, which we set up last time, but then it's going to stop and you're not going to be able to get to the next room until you have a key. This could be anything. It could be a gem, it could be a key, or it could be a coin. Then once you get that coin or key, it's going to open up a passage to the next room. So let's get into Scratch. So testing out what we have already, we've got a guy who can move left, right, up and down. We've put some very simple collision in place. He can't walk into the walls and he can't walk into pot plants or any obstacles that we have. Then if he hits a certain point on the screen, he will change over to room 2, and you can see the variable which is displayed in the top left hand corner is showing us how that's triggered. At this stage though, we can't get into room 3. Room 3 doesn't exist. If you haven't seen the previous video, just to recap, I've got this code. If room equals 2, which is our variable up here, then go to this room. So I need to create a new room. Let's just do this very quickly. I just normally like to use walls like this, which we can very quickly shape into the next room. That looks pretty good. That's going to be room 3. And we'll attach this bit of code here. If room equals 3, then go to room 2. Also, the obstacles, which just give the room a little bit of character, are going to have exactly the same script. If room 3, then go to costume 3, but it doesn't exist yet. I'm going to come down here and duplicate this. You can do all sorts of things here. You can make your these things bigger. You can change them over. You can change the color. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring in a different costume later on, just to change up the plant thing. But for now, this will do because I want to get into the actual coding of it. Okay, so we've got this guy changing from room 1 if Y position equals 75. Room 1, go to, or set room to 2, which changes the variable. Then we have if on room 2, if Y position is less than minus 77, set room to room 1 and to pop up here. So now we need to think about what the code's going to say to trigger at this point just here. If on room 2, if Y is greater than, not less than, because we're at the top now, and looking over at the Y position, it's 175. Then hide, set room to room 3. We want to stop this. We want to give him the starting position, let's say here, minus 171, and show. That should be all we need here. Now it has to be contained inside room 2. Room 1 is working to room 2. Room 2 now goes into room 3, and that happened pretty good actually. The only thing that didn't seem to happen is the obstacles didn't switch over to costume 3. There we go. Okay, so now in room 3, this is where we're going to change it up. We're going to make something a little bit different. We're going to have a door. So I'm going to draw a door. It's going to be a brown coloured door, maybe a little bit big. And then I'm going to position it over this doorway. A couple of things need to happen with this, by the way, because at the moment we don't have any collision set up for this door at all. So we'll just put a little handle on here. Okay, so we're going to name this sprite door. We're also going to come back into the code of the man, and we can just jump on the back of this code that we've got here, because we can throw in if touching door. So the way this works is we're going to pull out all these, we're going to combine this big jumbo OR statement for wall, obstacle, or door. Then we want to set or change X by whatever was being changed. So we can duplicate that and we can use it. We can just swap it out for all those scripts that we've got in there so far. So that's going to go in there. All right, so the idea of that one was to get him to not be able to walk through the door. Now the problem here is we haven't coded the door to not be there on the first room. So the script for that is going to be similar to all the other sprites in that it's going to rely on the variable room. So first things first, if room equals 1, we would like the door to hide. Okay, I'm now in room 2. We go into room 3, but in room 3, I'd like it to show. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have some separate statements like this. Telling it what to do. So in room 3, it just popped up. Another way you could do that is an if and else statement. So what we could have done here is we can have this OR statement again, and we can have if room 1 or room 2, then hide, else show. Okay, so that would work if we have 3 rooms. If we get into the 4th room, the problem is going to be that it would show because it's not 1 or 2. So we'd have to keep adding to this OR statement. But it's just an interesting thing to know that is there. It may come in handy for you. So in room 3 now, we've got a door. And we've got to come up with a way for this character to get through the door. I'm going to bring in another sprite very quickly. I'm just going to draw a golden key. Something like that. And I'll position this over in the corner. Let's put it down here. Now the code for this is going to be exactly the same as this one. So what I can do is duplicate that and then drag it onto the key. But the problem with Scratch duplicating it is it does make a copy, and you just need to make sure you go back and delete it because it can cause problem if you show exactly the same script. So just to recap there, we've got on room 1 and 2, the key is not going to be there. Room 3, it's going to show. Another bit of good practice to get into the habit of is to actually just telling it where to go, the X and Y coordinates. Now, I'm just noticing that my X and Y coordinates are not actually where the key is right now, so I'll switch that over. That's 163. And on room 3, it's going to go to these coordinates and show and do exactly the same thing for the door here. On room 3, it's going to go to there and show. Okay, to test this out, let's go to room 1, it's not there. Room 2, it's not there. But room 3 it is, it's ready to go. I can't get through room 3 because the door is there. Now I'm going to come over here, and what I'd like to happen is for when my character to touch the key, it's going to be collected, and then I'm going to be able to go through the door. And for this to happen, we're going to need another variable. We can call it key, and we need to be able to tell the key, and I like to code it on the actual key, that when the game starts, when the flag's clicked, the key is going to be set to 0. When this is touching. Okay, so on the key, we're going to use a script called when this sprite. We're going to use if touching. Man. There we go, that's going to work better. So we'll just put a flag at the top here. So if touching man, set to 1. Now if I click the flag, you'll see that the key has changed the variable to 1. If I press flag now, it should set to 0. go. Okay, it's set to 1. Notice I didn't use change 1 because it'd be continuing to go up. But what would make this look cool is if it hid after it was touched. Now, what's going to happen is this script over here is conflicting with this script over here. So we can put another little if statement in here. And we can say, if key is 1, which has been triggered right here, then hide. So then it runs the script, but it also checks if this variable here is equal to 1. If it is, then it's already been picked up, so don't keep showing. Okay, so now the man's heading up towards the door with the key, and we need the door to interact with the key. So we're going to have a script here, probably on the end of this one here, that says if key equals 1, then hide. And if this runs the script, you'll see that the door just disappears. So what would happen now is on room 3, the door's going to pop up, the key's going to pop up, and as soon as you pick up the key, the door should disappear. What would probably rather happen is for the door not to disappear, is for when the man gets to the door, then it disappears. So we can have another little script in here that combines these conditions. So yes, we could have if the key equals 1 and if touching man. So let's run this and see how it happens. So if I come up to the door, nothing is going to happen. If I collect the key and then come up to the door, then it's going to go away and it'll be able to go through it. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. We could have something similar using the distance operator. We could have something similar, which is if touching man and the space key pressed, if you wanted to incorporate some interactivity. So if the space key is pressed. Now, one way we could sort of handle this door coming and going like it is at the moment is we could set the door to be a variable. Okay, so we've got another variable listening for an instruction. So if it's touching man, we're not going to hide it. We're going to set the door to, let's say, open, just for simplicity reasons. When the door starts, or when the thing is when the flag is clicked, the door is going to be set to closed. Okay, then we're going to have a script over this side. When the flag is clicked, if, and we use our variable here, door is closed, and then we're going to show. If we could use that if and else statement we used before. We could do this and press open and then show. Or we could do the if and else statement and just have the condition up the top here, like this. So if the door is closed, then show, else hide. If it's anything else but closed. And we just got to make sure we have a forever loop around it, not that one, around the whole thing. So let's test this out now. Now what's conflicting here is we've got one condition over here that says forever if room 1 hide, but then also we've got a condition that says if the variable is closed, then show. So we've got two snippets of code here which is telling it to do completely different things. So we need to incorporate this bit of code inside room 3 because we only ever want that to happen. Okay, so we want to put this if statement. If the door is closed, then show. Okay, and then inside that, if the key is 1, then it's picked it up. And if it's touching the man, set the door to open. And we can have if door is open, hide. We'll test all that out now just to make sure it works. Door's closed. Can't go through. When I pick up the key, I can go through.